Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. In this video today, we are talking Super Sega. You're probably wondering, hey yo Pixel, you have not covered Super Sega for quite a long time, and for good reason. There's only so long you can beat a dead horse until that dead horse becomes mince and you just want to move along. Yes, I've been getting emails from them. They've been putting out videos on their channel, nothing to do with the FPGA gaming device, just really weird stuff. So initially, a little bit of a backstory, then we'll bring up some web pages on the screen for you guys to have a look at. So Super Sega randomly just popped up, an FPGA console that worked with cutting edge FPGAs. It was going to be at a very reasonable price, alleged by them, and it promised the world. From Master System to Mega Drive to Sega Saturn to the Dreamcast, this was going to do every single Sega console, and all on FPGA. They shared videos, none of them that really looked like a core. It wasn't like a work in progress core. It just looked like really bad or subpar emulation. By the way, what you're seeing on screen here is actually Redream. It says software emulator just running Crazy Taxi because, hey, I do like watching the attract mode in Crazy Taxi. So what happened earlier? I got an email. Now, like I said, I've been getting emails from these guys and different stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to cover it. I'm just going to ignore it. There's nothing really that interesting there, even though I personally think I still could have turned it into content. So what's the email that I got? Well, this one over here, right? It's in Spanish, so for anyone out there that speaks Spanish, well, pat yourself in the back because you probably speak more languages than I do. But it does say English below, and I think this is a translation here. So this is the end. After weeks and months, Super Sega is officially deaf. There will be no more videos, no more news unless Resurrect. Right, let me pause there at Resurrect because I'm pretty sure Alejandro Martin, this guy up here, has died or almost died and has been resurrected. I remember at one point he was in hospital. I can't remember, like I said, I can't keep up with this fiasco. I can't remember if the guy died and came back or nearly died and then came back. Either way, he's alive. So resurrection, when they put that in there, you just never know if they are going to resurface or not. I mean, they're saying they're dead unless resurrected. So let's take that with a grain of salt. So which is almost impossible. Almost impossible, not impossible, almost impossible. So I've got no idea what these guys might come with. P.S. We are passing on to some media confidentially the emails exchanged between the Asian company that would produce the mini Super Sega DOS, okay, number 2 or whatever, which today, December the 12th, 2025, they said that they cannot, or at least that it was our interpretation. Okay, so that's kind of what we got. So today at 15:33 Spanish time, the farewell video. Okay, the video's linked up there. Maybe we can click on that in a second. So keep your good old games alive forever. Just a very weird one to come out there, but maybe this can be the end of this fiasco. Let's just click on that and see where it just kind of takes us for now. Okay, so we're not going to watch this. I'll link this in the video if you like, but Don Alejandro has had a shave. This is, it looks like a background where he's shown stuff in there before, and I guess he's explaining. I remember looking at this earlier. I know a lot of people don't like the auto sub that comes up, but I like the auto dubbing because well, I can kind of understand what they're saying, but I think it is only in the native language. I guess subtitles, can I choose? Okay, so Spanish only, unless there's options here as well. Let's have a look. No, okay, so you can only have, you need to be able to speak Spanish in order to get this. I don't know what this channel is, Super Sega DOS. They had a different channel before, really weird stuff. There's been a whole bunch of live streams, just some wacky stuff out there with this, but I guess they are saying they are dead unless by some miracle they resurrect, right? And honestly, like, do not put it past Super Sega for that resurrection. And just kind of going over to my channel, just covering this stuff, let's have a look at some of the videos that I have done over the years. Now, a friend of mine, Video Game Esoterica, he's done a lot more videos and some really comical stuff. I feel like he actually done a really good job. He does a lot of videos. I don't watch all his videos, but I did watch the Super Sega ones because they were actually really funny, done really well. So definitely check out his channel. But hey, I've got a few videos as well. So sorry, speaking too fast, getting out of breath here. Right, okay, so are Sega gonna kill Super Sega? Was this the master plan all along? So allegedly at one point, Sega sent them an email saying we're gonna take you to court. Again, we don't know if that stuff was legit or fabricated, or exactly what it was, but hey, that's what they said, and Sega had to stop, and it was like the project's gonna stop. This is an earlier video I done where they showed the FPGA. So I was in dialogue with them when they first surfaced, and I was like, look, come onto the channel, gave them an open invitation. They wanted my WhatsApp number, and I was like, nah, you're not getting a WhatsApp number. I don't really have a phone number dedicated to the channel. The phone number I use is my personal phone, or I've got another one for work. Can't give that out. So I was like, no. And they said, look, we don't do Discord, we don't do Instagram, we only do WhatsApp. So it didn't really happen until later on. They emailed me and we got this thing going. But what they did show in their videos were, sorry, I don't have YouTube Premium. If I click it, adverts are probably going to pop up. So they showed like a FPGA there. I got that verified for a friend of mine, and it was like the thumbnail suggests there, a bloody $20,000 FPGA. That's what they showed. So how are you going to sell this for whatever you're offering, 500 or 600? It was just absolutely nuts. And what's this here? One console to rule them all. Okay, so this was probably the first video I did when they kind of showed stuff. I think, yeah, there you go. I used Mad Little Pixels video as reference because he kind of got these documents before me. Again, over here, I have no idea. Okay, so this is where he done an article or a video, borrowed 15 from his mum, fed the poor, sold a prototype. So again, it was just very, very bizarre. What's a bizarre freaking, just a bizarre whole event of stuff, right? And this is an early one when they, like, say, if you can see the thumbnail there, this is where they showed some footage, allegedly Dreamcast running. That is, as far as I can tell, it's not Dreamcast, at least not running on FPGA, some Super Turbo, some other stuff there. But this is where, like in the white paper, they showed themselves in a Ferrari, and it's like, it reminded me of the crypto times, right? Where it's like, believe us, believe in us, not the product. You are buying into us. We drive Ferraris, we know how to make an FPGA. This one here, a full 420 taken from a $3 pre-order. And I can't remember, I think that was the one where he parks the Lamborghini badly. And I think someone said, don't trust the guy that doesn't know how to use a handbrake. And that's probably good advice. Then we had this stuff here. Okay, so this is where a lot of experts gave their feedback. I did a video on that, but this is where they had like promotional videos showing stuff, all that stuff. This was the epic one. This is where I had Alejandro himself on for an interview to answer technical questions of which he could not. So that was a car crash of an interview, and this is just the journey that it went. So what's this here? SuperSEGA FPGA team share footage of calls running. And that was allegedly calls running. They showed Bomberman on Saturn, Shinobi on the Master System, Golden Axe 2 on the Mega Drive, and I can't remember what they showed in this particular video for the Dreamcast, maybe something like Crazy Taxi or whatever it was. Again, like nowhere to verify. They also did videos where it looked, you know, they were trying to say it was plugged in, but it wasn't. It could have been doctored. They had that on there. Okay, so SuperSEGA, Super Spag, it's the beginning of the end. And this is where they showed a weird clip of Alejandro actually on Spanish national television and some weird stuff. Started getting some weird guitar solos and stuff out there. And what's this? Okay, so SuperSEGA FPGA, please check pin code. Okay, so I can't even remember what happened. Oh, that's where they took it apparently to a PCB manufacturer. It was like a 9-second video where they went with what looked like a child's drawing. No, just crazy stuff. Okay, so SuperSEGA FPGA 2 versions planned. Team acknowledge vaporware concerns. Okay, saying that they're not vaporware, we acknowledge it. SuperSEGA shared drawing of PCB. Okay, and that's kind of where I did it. Now I could have probably done a lot more videos, but honestly, at a certain point you just say to yourself, do you know what, I'm going to give it a rest. But now they're saying that they are dead. Makes me think, are they going to resurrect and whatnot? But what's interesting over here is on my Google feed, I had an article from Time Extension. Let me bring that up from the guys here. So, Time Extension article, this is the end. The man behind the infamous SuperSEGA console finally admits defeat. And I think there's some good stuff that they've shown on here. Time Extension are really, really quick with a lot of stuff out there. Definitely a site worth checking out. So over here it is Alejandro allegedly holding that prototype, and a lot of people pick stuff out with that, with the way some of the circuitry was. Someone even said to me at one point that part of it even looked legit, so it was very, very weird. And you know, I do feel for the people that lost their money and weren't able to do a chargeback. So here you go. So I promised everything: Master System, Mega Drive, Dreamcast, the whole thing. Yeah, so here you go. That's like a early prototype, and again, just looks absolutely nuts. I mean, this was one of the bizarrest things, definitely the bizarrest thing since I've personally been covering FPGA gaming. Just absolutely nuts. And I can't remember how many units this sold. Was it like 300 or something? 2 versions, compromised, no compromised. Again, just really weird stuff. Like this guy here on a live stream, apparently people said that he was snorting some kind of substance, smoking, cooking, drinking beer, just absolutely crazy. Look, I have to say, I've spoken to Alejandro. I don't like that he's taken money and everything he's done, but when you speak to the guy, like, there's just a certain thing about him. You don't know if he's crazy or if he's like some kind of wild genius, or it's nuts. The guy is just simply nuts, like, you know, genius or not genius or special needs. I just have no idea. So even Ian Lee, the wildest interview ever, and that's where he was having potatoes and prawns or shrimps or whatever, just absolutely nuts. I know you're probably thinking, what the heck is this video? And if you followed it, you probably know it. Then from Slope's Game Room, guys, Slope's Game Room done a really good documentary on this, covering the whole saga, really good. And then all of a sudden this guy does a live stream, and he just exposes in the video all of Slope's personal details, like his phone number, potentially his credit card details, a whole bunch of stuff just shown live on air. And even when Alejandro was doing the interview with me and he was sharing the screen, there was lots of potentially confidential stuff up there that's just there. So here we go. So around 133,000 euros that they got from selling those pre-orders. As far as I know, no one's got one. I think Video Game ℳ𝒾𝓈 said that he will pay $1,000 in order to get that prototype. And I think, Alejandro, that offer still stands if you have whatever prototype and then it goes there. But then what happened then? Apparently, at one point they got sued by Sega, and then Sega wrote back to them and said, we're very sorry, these were rogue employees, you can take them to court. It was just absolutely nuts. There you go, that's the video from Slope. So just crazy stuff out there, more time extension articles, Lamborghini, all this stuff here, guys. When I say to you, this was the craziest thing that I've ever seen in FPGA gaming since covering it. I mean, I'm kind of happy that we've got the email that just says, let me find it over here, officially deaf. Let me highlight it before I do this. And there you go, you can see it highlighted there. Officially deaf. Officially deaf. It is dead, apparently, unless it gets resurrected. So SuperSEGA is dead. Allegedly. I say allegedly. I'm going to say that a lot because, yeah, they're just nuts. Do let me know what you guys kind of think. Were you one of the people that put down that €3 deposit and then all of a sudden got charged the full amount? Were you able to do a chargeback? Did you lose the money? What is your take on the whole fiasco? Do you actually believe that this is the end, or do you think Alejandro will come back? Now, there's a lot of stuff. When I was covering this, I had someone message me, say, look, this guy was, so again, this is unsubstantiated, but someone messaged me, they sent me links to these Spanish forums where someone's scamming people on luxury bikes. There was just all kinds of stuff out there. Again, like not something that I've looked into or done. I was interested in the FPGA side, interested in getting them on for an interview. Alejandro, if you're watching this, I'm happy to have you on the channel again. If you want to explain exactly what's what and speak. The only thing I'll say that if you do take me up for another interview, we will do it live, but just get yourself like headphones, a mic, and maybe eat before you do it, and don't start drinking and smoking. Let's keep it pro. If you want to get anything out there, I'm happy to do it. It was entertaining doing the last one anyway. But yeah, interested in your thoughts on this. I thought I'll put this out because officially it's dead. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, then press that unlike button. If you did, press that like button. If you loved it, which will be weird because I'm not even sure about this video myself, but hey, subscribe to the channel. Anyway, guys, be freaking awesome to one another. Hey, it's Pixel Cherry Ninja out.